Hello everyone. This is the intro to my new project, which is the build of a Los Angeles class model submarine. It's going to be 1:72 scale. It's going to be about 1.5 meters long, but what makes it particularly good, I think, is two things. One is I'm going to have a really good ballasting system in this that uses Arduino at its heart with some brand new ideas which I think are pretty good. And secondly, I'm going to make this pretty cheaply. I'm going to try and keep the price between $500 and $600. That doesn't include the radio and the batteries, but it's a really interesting process. Now it's going to cost me less because I've got a lot of the parts, but that's neither here nor there. Spoiler alert, I'm using a fairly standard workshop, but I do have a lathe, and that makes all the difference if you're going to do something like this. Okay, the reason I chose the Los Angeles is because I really like the look of the boat, plus I can make most of the hull out of a piece of pipe, which reduces my workload dramatically. That was a significant issue for me, and there's a helicopter. We shall wait for it. Okay, so it's gone now, I think. There's about 5 stages in this process, and I'm up to the 3rd. So the first stage is to build the pistons. And so what we do is we use a lot of lathe work here. Build end caps, connectors for watertight cylinders, internal bulkheads, and then we make the pistons themselves. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to get the mechanics of the thing operational on a bench, so that then I could go to stage 2, which was to start working on the Arduino and the coding of the chip, so that I could begin to work out how it was all going to, just to make sure it was all going to work before moving on to any other parts. So that involved then getting this Arduino and just designing the script for that. What I've added, which is fascinating, is a couple of laser distance sensors, so that at all times the Arduino knows exactly where the piston is in the cylinder, and also a pressure gauge, which I use with my other boats, so that in fact I can get a auto depth keeping part to this. So the notion behind all of this is so that I can not only dive the boat, I can tilt it forwards and backwards, plus I can record as a sweet spot, if you like, neutral buoyancy, and it will go back to neutral buoyancy through a diving and surfacing routine. That sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty easy. So that's been done. I've got all of the scripting done the circuit diagrams, and I've now started on the hull. And the hull has been a lot of fun. To make the bow and the stern sections, I've used the discovered method of using foam and then getting rid of it with petrol. That all worked a treat until I cut the thing the wrong way, but that's another story. I've built the prop, big 7-bladed prop. I've got a brushless motor sitting in here driving it. I've got 2 servos in there already, and what I'm doing at the moment is fitting the hydroplanes to get all of those working around the prop. That's a job I didn't really plan for. I'm also going to get the hydroplane on the conning tower working, and I've yet to build this WTC, but that's going to take 5 minutes. And we've got the radio in there and the Arduino, plus a few relays and bits and bobs that sit in there, plus I'm going to have a couple of LiPo batteries, so this thing's going to go for forever as far as I'm concerned. So that's basically all of that. When I've got the hull roughed out so that it's good enough, I'm just going to give it a coat of black paint, and then we put the bits in, make it all work, test it. That's going to be the really interesting part. And once I've got it all working, I'll rip everything out and then finish the hull off properly. So that's what this is all going to be. I'm about halfway through, and so far so good. And I think the critical point is going to be testing these pistons as they move in, and the pressure that's going to be caused inside that watertight cylinder, and then the capacity of the motors to push them out. We might have to look at different motors, whatever, because I'm using full-size pistons here. That's it. Pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, I'll continue to blog about this, and you can follow me on the webpage. Thanks.